Nashville wasn't incredibly difficult on paper as far as track design. However, with the week leading up to the race, how much moisture they got created the technicality of this track becoming concrete. What I mean by that is they had some moisture, you were able to create some lines, and then it became hard pack where you almost put the track in an oven to where you couldn't make any mistakes whatsoever. What line you took was the line that you were stuck in. If you tried to alter, you cross-rutted and you went down because the track held you in place. It was a track to where you had to slow down to go fast. If you overrode the conditions, you were going down. And unfortunately, we saw a few riders get the short end of the stick. The most notable one was Cooper Webb. We can see him lap one because he only really made it a quarter of a lap. He jumps to the inside of Tomac and almost T-bones him. He's trying to push him around and let him know that he's here because he's trying to win this championship. And this is important. Notice this dragon back, that all these riders are hitting the top whoop because they need a rup. We'll go over that later on in the video. But as we fast forward, we see Cooper come into this corner, and the typical line is here, except for he wants to create a new line and just hop out of that deep rut so that he continues to go fast. These guys cross rut on these corners all the time where they ride across them to create a new line. But watch what happens with his rear wheel. His rear wheel does not jump out of the rut where the front wheel does. And then you just have physics where it's a lean angle and he just ends up tipping over from there, right? He just gets off kiltered and ends up going down. And that wasn't the bad part. The bad part was AC behind him just following the line, ends up nailing him in the head and causing a concussion. If we look at Jordan Smith, watch Jordan Smith in the heat before, what does he do? Boom. He does the same thing that Cooper was trying to do. I don't believe that this was an error on Cooper or Cooper trying to give Tomac more room. Yeah, maybe a little bit of Cooper trying to make some distance between the two so he doesn't get T-boned because of the corner he did prior. But I really think he was trying to jump out of the rut just like Jordan Smith was. But notice, Jordan Smith hops out of the rut. What does his ass end do? His rear wheel does not hop out either. If the track was more forgiving, that would have popped out and they would have been able to create another line on top of that. But no, he almost goes down as well because that rear wheel gets hooked. And if we watch Cooper as he gets up, first sign of concussion is dizziness. You don't know where you're at. Watch him. As he falls right back down. And so then the Asterisk Medical crew is like, hey, you need to just stay right here. We need to figure out where you are, etc. And he goes as far as to say on his Instagram that he suffered a concussion and he is out. It's super unfortunate. Small mistake and shit happens in racing. I'm bummed to see it. Cooper, we hope you well. As far as Barcia goes, I think it's important to have a comparison. So this is the LCQ. These guys are incredibly talented. They just don't have the level of equipment to breed the confidence and potentially the professional hours and experience to really, really go fast. They are still 1% of 1%, but I digress. Watch them on the Dragonback. You can really see how big that Dragonback is. And it's literally a 2-story fall if something were to happen. Look at how high Anderson is. If you were to endo on something like that, just the amount of inertia, you could seriously get injured. And we don't really have a good look at Barcia's accident, so I'm going to speculate. And what I think happened to Barcia is he missed that last whoop, right? You can already see him almost in an endo, where before you heard me say that each rider is hitting that top one to rut off of. If you miss one of those, especially the last one, this is where we see a lot of guys endo. Cooper Webb did it a few years ago. There's a lot of guys where this has happened. We've even seen Ricky Carmichael way back, I believe in 2002, do this on a Dragon's Back. Boom. I believe he missed that last one and he is going down. And the word on the street is he has a broken collarbone and potentially a separated shoulder. These guys wear a chest protector. You see all the Alpine Star guys, they have just a chest protector on with no shoulder pads whatsoever. I don't know how much range of motion you are losing by having a Kevin Windham Travis Pastrana type chest protector, which could save your collarbones and save your AC joints so that you don't get injured. And unfortunately, I believe he could have both. Definitely the broken collarbone, which may need surgery. As soon as you have surgery, you're ready to go by outdoors. The AC joint, if you get surgery on something like that, it's going to take 3 months to heal and he can't lift anything. So hopefully he doesn't have that, or he could just do a massive amount of rehab and not get surgery depending upon the grade. But to me, this looks as if he missed that last whoop and boom, massive endo. So sorry to see that happen for Barcia after coming off of a high of winning the mud race and being on the podium potentially at this race. That's a good segue because we all love the sport of hard knocks, but we also hate the recovery time. And CoachRobStore.com has several nutritional bundles to ease the reduction in the recovery time. I can attest to the Impact Injury Bundle because I just tore some ligaments on my ankle and I am up and running training for my Ironman, and this definitely helped with swelling and pain and also helped with my attitude, just knowing that I was healing and I was doing the most I could for my body considering the circumstances. So regardless if you break a collarbone or get a concussion, make life just a tad easier on yourself with some of the highest quality supplements on the market today. Shop CoachRobStore.com. The starts had some interesting action as well. We looked at heat number 2. Kenny been getting really good starts this year. I'm super pumped for him because we all know that he has a hard time coming through the pack, but if he starts out front, he ends up doing fairly well. Well, you can see Kenny and Barcia get good starts, but right behind them, I believe you've got Shaw and Bloss. And because this is a right-hand corner, everybody is drifting wide. All these guys are drifting wide. Look at how Anderson is jumping across the start. This was sketchy. This was super sketchy. These guys are going from right to left, and that is exactly what happened to Bloss and Shaw as they just touched in the air, and they ended up going down hard. That was super unfortunate. And if we look at even the LCQ, we can see Jason Anderson and Simons doing the same thing, and it almost getting bad, where Jason almost jumps right into the back. And continuing with the narrative of this track just being rock hard concrete, look at Jason Anderson as he's trying to adapt to the lines. He's using his body language to hold himself in place and try to keep himself from actually crashing. It's a beautiful technique. However, it's not really cross-rutted. His weight was off. Right? He was trying to adjust what was really happening because these guys have no time to land and pick a line and go. They're pretty much in the air and the line has already been chosen for them. So all they can do is lean left to right to try to make adjustments. And that's what Jason Anderson was doing. And unfortunately, it bit him. Maybe, again, if the dirt was a little bit more forgiving, he would have been able to not jump off the track. But since, again, those lines are concrete, they're holding them in place to where they can't make those adjustments. And we see Jason Anderson end up, boom, falling off. Did he get cross-rutted? I do not think he got cross-rutted. I think his lean angle was off. His just body weight was off. And we can see Carroll in his heat race as he was getting lapped. It's hard to see because we don't have high definition. But right there, you can see, is that line going somewhere? Was his weight off or did he get cross-rutted? This to me almost looks like he got cross-rutted or that rut was just literally going off the track and he ends up hitting the tough blocks, going down really hard. This is Johnny Hopper. Till next time, make sure you keep it tuned to this channel. I enjoy having you guys around. Make sure on the way out, you make some comments. I read them all. And subscribe. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da-da.